guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're on the YouTube race account and we are looking at our Wilder edition. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to build out the Wilders within the wish list. Also going to do kind of a breakdown of where you do want to build them up. So looking here in the Noble Tavern, we have done the Light Bears and the Maulers. Now we are on to the Wilders. Of course, guys, Wilders #1 priority, which is kind of crazy because she is a relatively new hero, but it is Mishka. Mishka, guys, super powerful with her wolves. Now, she does have kind of the add-on feature that we see with Grez and Baden, the totems with Namisu. It does provide a distraction, and the wolves do take damage, which is very powerful. Second one we look at is Iran. Now, Iran, guys, has been a staple for the Wilder team, a requirement for the 5-pull meta team, the Lucretia 5-pull, whatever it may be, guys, he is the staple for all of those teams. Now, followed from there is Raku. Now, Raku, a relatively new hero. I know he's getting a little bit older, but single target damage, his ultimate ability is a little bit broken. You don't want to utilize the ultimate ability, but he overall is a very broken hero and can do an incredible amount of damage as well as crowd control. If he's on a crowd control team, such as with Mishka, he will actually amplify the damage based on the crowd control. He actually marks up targets, which is very cool to see when you're building those heroes out. Another staple, guys, is Leica. Not only for the energy and for the haste that she brings, but she also provides a really big defensive debuff, which is awesome when you're trying to get through those really tough tank targets. And then the last one, guys, is of course Little Peanut, which is a star to round out the Wilder team. Now we're going to move over to the Wilders themselves, and I'll show you kind of the breakout of where you do want to build these heroes when it comes to their specific factions. We can start with the star. Now, a star is a hero, again, relatively new to the Wilders. You want to start with the +20 signature item, which is right here. Every time the ultimate skill Life Spark deals damage, enemies are burned. So that burning damage that she does for the next 5 seconds is very strong, guys. That is where a lot of her damage comes from. You do want to get the +30 signature item as you get a little bit further, because that is going to increase the damage that they are receiving. Now, again, it is not an attack rating damage or increase. It is a damage, which is awesome. Attack is increased by 25% damage. That is right, guys. It is a straight damage increment in there. Now, with the engraving, so engraving specifically, 3 of 9 is okay. Enemies lose the attack rating, so it is going to provide a little bit of survivability. Now, the +60 on her is really good. It takes her 40% less damage to 60% less damage when she is waving her lantern. So you'll actually see her when she starts combat, she waves the lantern. 60% less damage, guys, with the engraving, which is absolutely crazy. Now, looking at the furniture, the 3 of 9 is okay. When an enemy target that is targeted Flame Seed disappears, another random enemy will be targeted. So this will actually pop up somewhere else. But the 9 of 9, guys, more targets, more damage. Now, a star, even though she is really big damage mitigation, does some solid healing. She does, again, an incredible amount of damage from what we've seen, utilizing her not only in the Cursed Realm, but also using her in some campaign stages. Now, you couple that with, of course, the other hero, which is Mishka, guys. Mishka, she is an absolute monster, probably one of the best Wilders that we've seen in years. With both of her wolves, she is really tough to kill. +20 signature item. Allied heroes attacking enemies marked with a Feral Bite deal 30% more damage. That is right, guys. That is a big, big damage increase. Again, a lot of the older heroes that we have, boosted attack rating, things of that nature. This is a straight up 30% more damage, which again is very tough, guys. That is really, really tough to really deal with. But again, +20 early game, +30 is okay. Does, again, a little bit of damage reduction, which is pretty good. Reducing the damage, of course, increases the survivability in there. Now, engraving, the 30 is pretty good. Damage of each attack is increased to 500% if they're using a shield, so it is situational. But guys, the +60, now this is the broken ability when it comes to Mishka. Enhances the skill Natural Rejuvenation. All allied heroes receive healing and are shielded. Not only is she very tough to kill, but when you get the engraving, not only are you getting some more magic resistance, but you are getting shields for the entire team, both healing and are shielded, which is super, super tough. Now you combine that with the furniture, guys. 3 of 9, pretty good, 50% of the damage dealt. It's converted into health, so a little bit of a heal. But again, the 9 of 9 is what you want to build, guys. So she'll actually be 309 with plus 60 engraving to really just absolutely dominate. And if you do have her built, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Each time a wolf dies, her energy is immediately replenished and her attack rating is increased. Attack speed is increased. So when a wolf dies, she will ult. The ult, of course, is a crowd control. With the ultimate ability, the werebear will trigger the signature item. So again, guys, I really feel like Lilith is catching on to the heroes, the kind of the synergy of the engraving within heroes. You're not seeing too many plus 30 engravings that are really shining. It is more of the plus 60 engraving, which are very strong, guys. Now, as far as gear, she is actually one you want to gear up very fast. Tier 3, Tier 4 gear, definitely recommended on her. Now, next hero, of course, that we look at is Iran, guys. Again, one of the absolute staple heroes. Starting off, guys, signature item, the 10, the 20, the 30 is really where you do want to build him as you make progression. Time enemies are frozen to increase to 4 seconds. That is right, guys. It is doubling, literally doubling the time that enemies are frozen. So the crowd control ability for Iran, not only does he do a slow with his attack, frozen enemies does more damage. Now they're doubling the duration to being frozen. Now with this furniture, the 3 of 9 is really the furniture that you're looking to build. 9 of 9, not really a big requirement. Engraving on him, not a requirement either, which makes it relatively easy to build. Which brings us to Raku, guys. Now Raku the raccoon, the rascal, we know him. Raku, signature item, absolutely plus 30, guys. This is normal attacks deal additional damage equal to 15% of the target's current health. That is right, guys, 15% of the target's current health, meaning the stronger enemy that you're fighting, the more health the current target has, the more damage this is going to do. That is why they capped it at that 650% of Raku's attack rating, because he is an absolute monster. When it comes to furniture, guys, 9 of 9, it is exactly what you want to do. He's able to use his ultimate ability an additional time if it did not kill an enemy. That is right, it is going to be like a secondary ult if you do not kill him. Engraving, you want to do plus 41, so a little bit different. Plus 30 is extending this peckish, meaning he does get an extra 2 seconds on there. But crit damage amplification, but there is a specific build when you're building them up to the 41, which we're actually going to be covering a little bit, but you want to focus on haste and crit after you hit that E30 to get to that 41 engraving. And of course, guys, the final one we look at is one of my favorites, which is Leica. Leica, guys, the awe is what players really build her for. The duration of, not only does she do an energy, but she also does a haste boost. Now, this gives targets, or this gives your allies the ability to trigger effects before the enemies. So whether it's Iran's pull, whether it's heroes like Nara, their ability will actually trigger because of this big boost that Leica is bringing, which is the main reason why we have so many heroes and so many players that do use Leica. Now, signature item, guys, plus 20 is really the big priority. The 30 extra accuracy she gets from the plus 30, not going to be real optimal. When you start getting into later stages, you'll start maxing out a lot of these heroes, but the plus 20 is really the big priority for her. Also with the furniture, guys, 3 of 9, this targets 2 enemies with rapid arrows, meaning that 2 targets are going to be getting hit with that rapid arrow ability. Again, as you progress further, you are going to build her up to the 309 rating. In the engraving, just like Iran, engraving is not required for Leica, which makes it very easy. So guys, I did want to give a big shout out to Obsidian Cutie for coming up with the guide. I'm going to actually put the link down below. It is very cool to see. So this is the Wilder edition. We have one more to cover, which is the Graveborn, guys. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.